Welcome into another edition of That's Deep. I'm Tommy Z, joined as always by Johnny Bravo. I am battling this plague that forced me to miss last week's show. So my voice is kind of limited here. So I'm going to be probably speaking a little less than I normally do. But we're alive. We're moving forward. Johnny, how you feeling coming into this one? How'd you do last week on the card?
Oh, last week, another just total shit show. You got fights that are minus 1,200 to finish. They're easily cruising to the distance, which seems to be a common theme this year.
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest of weeks, but Mozart, got me there, and MVP got me there. So, it was some spots like these fights, man. They're not finishing. Like it's crazy. A dude will be rocking out cold, and then the fight won't stop, and it'll just easily cruise to a decision. It's a lot of crazy shit. It makes you really like double take on betting guys to finish nowadays. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's getting tough. And there was a couple spots on that card last week where guys got flatlined and
like the Controversious fight, like Tricoli just ate a flush knee. Was knocked out, and then
it's brutal.
Mario Pinto just pretty much just staring at his opponent for 7.5 minutes, doing absolutely nothing. It's just
and I felt like the MVP fight. I had MVP money line, but I felt like he kind of fights like that anyway. But being kind of friends with Patterson, it felt like he just didn't want to go in for the kill shot, and Patterson just didn't want to do anything. So,
if you watched MVP over the years, that's pretty much MVP style, dart in and out. You can't really hit him. And Patterson seemed scared to engage, like he was just skirting around the outside of the cage. He didn't fight the normal way he would have fought. He never tried to really engage MVP.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I thought he would engage a little bit at least.
Well, he's never been a decision. His last 5 fights have ended in round 1, so it's like,
yeah. But we've got some fights on this card that you would think would finish. So we'll see what happens. We got Terrence McKinney. I don't know if he could let us down and get to a decision. But
that would be the ultimate fucking if that fight somehow. Oh wait.
That one would be insane. But let's jump into it. I don't want to lose my voice before the end of this show. First fight on the card is in the women's strawweight division. We got Alexia Tainara taking on Bruna Brazil. These two have fought in the past. Actually, Bruna Brazil did win. But since then, Tainara has looked like she's really improved. Brazil, she's still kind of the same fighter that she's always been. She's with the Fighting Nerds, so you'd think her style would get a little bit better. I think she's still with the Fighting Nerds, I should say. But she's kind of just stiff. She's got some skills, but just nothing overly impressive. Tainara is a massive favorite here, which is, kind of crazy when you think that she's lost to her in the past. But, like I said, the improvements have been great for her coming up since then. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, a rematch that almost nobody asked for. Tainara just, massive favorite, up to minus 800 now, which is, it's kind of crazy. Tainara, they fought before, and Bruna Brazil guillotined her and pretty much just tapped her out, pretty much. But that was early in Tainara's career, so she's definitely made a lot of improvements. Since coming into the UFC, she's looked, pretty much amazing. She's pretty much running right through these girls, destroying them, looking really good. Really good performance last time out against Loma. She's looked really, really good. She has a stupid dance to the cage, and she has a lot of energy, and she's a pretty strong grappler, big girl, decent striking, some sharp power on the feet for the women's division. she looks good. And you got Bruna, who, like you said, is kind of stuck in mud. Never really made too many improvements. Kind of just the same fighter. She's got some decent. She's got some okay striking, some decent power behind her hands. She can grapple a little bit, but not really her game. Yeah, I mean, she's that fighting nerd, so I don't know. This is low. I mean, I don't know, low level women's MMA, I guess. But I mean, Tainara's on the come up. I like her potential and what I've seen, but I mean, it's -800. I think she probably finishes her, Tainara, by the way she's looked. But Bruna Brazil has not looked, I mean, too bad in her last couple of fights. So it's kind of like I'm wishy-washy on whether to go finish or decision. This is another one where it's like, fuck, man, she probably has her in some bad spots and it just doesn't finish. Kind of like what we've been seeing all year. I think, I mean, I like Tainara, but -800 is just hard to get there, and you just got to pick and choose what you want to do. I haven't landed on a complete method of victory yet, but I think Tainara probably gets payback here and gets it back.
Yeah, I think she gets it done too. The finish is tempting, but Bruna is pretty tough. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like it probably goes long. Yeah, I think it goes long. It's gonna probably look closer than the line would say, but I think Tainara will just be faster. She's just got the overall skill set to win this fight and look good in this fight. So I would favor the overs with Tainara, but yeah, it's just one of those ones that I kind of told myself a while ago that these kind of lines I'm just going to try to stay away from. I fell into it last week with a couple big, massive favorites, and I tried getting a bet down and it just doesn't work out. You try to get the finish bet, and it just doesn't work. So this might be one I stay away from, but I like Tainara. I think it probably goes all 3 rounds, but I'm not sure I want to put my money.
Yeah, but like I could see her finishing her though, the way she's been fighting lately. But it's like you don't. It's a fucking women's fight, and you don't really want it. Like it's hard to bet a finish. Maybe you take a shot on the sub, Tainara sub. I don't mind that. Like,
yeah, maybe something small.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's tough to find a way to get on it. But if the line's good enough, I mean, I guess it's worth a sprinkle. But
sub was like +200 or something.
Yeah, that's
inside the distance was like, and then inside the distance was +150. So at that point, you just But yeah.
All right, we like Tainara. Moving on here. Got actually a pretty good fight here. We got Ricky Simone taking on Adrian Yanez in a bantamweight bout. Yanez, a guy that he came onto the scene pretty hot. He's got really good boxing. He's got good power. He's a guy that tends to, take some shots in fights and fall behind, and that's kind of cost him a little bit. He's taken some losses. He's had some time off, and Ricky Simone's a guy that we thought was maybe cooked a year and a half ago or so, and kind of just he's shown that he's still got something left in the tank. He's a guy that used to wrestle a lot. He's still got that in his back pocket, but he doesn't use it as much as he used to. Maybe pulls it out here against a guy like Yanez, who's a high-volume boxer. But what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is a fun fight, interesting fight. Yanez, kind of the prospect that could have been. Everybody had high hopes on this guy. He was, when he knocked out that fucking Kelly, whatever his name is, he gave him the double bird, and everybody was like, oh, yeah, Yanez, the next prospect. And then they tried to propel him up to Rob Font, and Rob Font starched him. And then Jonathan Martinez just absolutely destroyed him with leg kicks. And then he's kind of just been like hit or miss, and then he has the Benicio Salvador win, and then Daniel Marcos lost, which was a split decision, a close fight, but inactivity. Like this guy, he just never really fights too much and doesn't really, he's been off for a year and a half. So he's 32 years old. He's been off for a year and a half. Could he make improvements in that stretch? I guess, but we already pretty much know what he's got. I mean, he's a really good boxer, has some good striking. Takedown defense is pretty good. I mean, I had high hopes for this guy, but he kind of just, the Rob Font getting starched by a jab and then just brutalized by leg kicks, just not a good look. And then just been on and off, hasn't really, did anything. And then, you got Ricky Simone, who's like a guy I was kind of high on, and then he was on a little slump, and then out of nowhere, he comes out and just absolutely nukes Javid Basharat, just starches him into the moon. Which was, Basharat was, we ultimately find out now that Basharat is just not very good.
Yeah.
And then he has a Cameron Smotherman win where I think we bet takedowns in that fight, and he shot pretty much absolutely no takedowns on Smotherman, who pretty much does not have very good takedown defense, which was surprising. He used to be a pretty strong wrestle boxer, and then as of recently, he's kind of just, I don't know if he's fell in love with his hands or he's worried about getting tired in his cardio. I'm not too sure, because he's kind of abandoned, like you said, he's abandoned like his kind of what he was, kind of just like a wrestle boxer. He'll take you down, bank rounds, box you up, and he's kind of abandoned the wrestling, which is kind of a concern. Yeah, and it's kind of a tricky one, because if it's on the feet, I definitely favor Giannis 100%. But if Ricky's shooting takedowns and trying to grapple and mix it in, then I would definitely favor Ricky. Ricky is at home, though. He is from the Seattle, Washington area, so that could be a big boost for him. I'm just not a fan of Giannis. I think he might be cooked. I don't know. I'm leaning with Ricky right now, but minus 145. Probably maybe Ricky and over 1.5 will get you maybe like an even money or something. I don't mind that. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Ricky here to win. I don't really love it too much, but yeah, I like Ricky.
Yeah, I mean that over. If you're betting Ricky, I would say probably bet the over 1.5. That's probably a good way to get on it. I think I'm going to take the shot here with Giannis. I think I'm just going to bank on the fact that he's taken some time off, rested up the body a little bit. He's a guy that, he does take a lot of damage. Ricky's definitely got the power to knock him out. So it wouldn't shock me if Ricky ended up coming away with a knockout here. But I think if Giannis comes in here healthy and is able to keep the fight on the feet, which I think for the most part, he's shown that he can, avoid takedowns, but he hasn't really fought a lot of power wrestlers either. So, if Ricky goes to the wrestling game plan and gets those takedowns, he doesn't have great control, but his mat returns are good. So if he goes that route, he could be great, and he could, DraftKings wise, he could look really good. But I don't know. I'm kind of leaning Giannis just because I think if he's at his best, I think he can look really good on the feet and he can do some damage. Ricky's a guy that I always kind of considered him chinny. I don't know if that's really a fair assessment. He's taken some big shots. Yeah, I don't really think he's chinny at this point. I thought that in the past. He can definitely absorb.
I think he's kind of
a decent,
yeah.
Go. Like when he got knocked out by Uriah Faber, that was like what really had me thinking that. But he's shown, he's fought some guys with some big power and, gotten deep into the fights with those guys. So I can't really sit here and say he's chinny. But he can be cracked. And, Giannis definitely, if he's not, getting taken down and controlled or anything like that, I think he's going to be in this fight. I think he's going to put up good volume. He always does. So I kind of lean the dog here. It is kind of tough though. Like you said, Ricky's a hometown guy. So that kind of makes it a little tougher too. And he's looked pretty good recently. So I'm gonna say for the purpose of the show, I'm gonna stick with Yanez here, but that over 1.5 with Ricky is kind of appealing. So I could be on that by the time we get to Saturday. All right, moving right along here. We've got this is one of those ones that you look at it and it could certainly be a finish. Light heavyweight division. We got Navajo Sterling taking on Bruno Lopez. Sterling's a guy that coming into the UFC showed that he was a finisher, had big power, has not shown that yet in the UFC. Still relatively young in his career. He's only 8-0. Lopez is a guy that, he's been knocked out. I believe both of his losses were knockouts. But again, light heavyweight fight between two guys that there's definitely some question marks here. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, Navajo Sterling, kind of a disappointment coming into the UFC. He's won, but he's kind of gotten layup fights where he should be knocking these guys out, like Bellato, Tuco Tokos, Ivan Urslan. Like, he should be putting these guys are guys he should be knocking out, man. Like, those guys aren't very good. UFC have tried to propel this guy. You know what I mean? He's a really good striker, elite kickboxer coming in, pretty new to MMA. But he comes from that city kickboxing squad where, they've got good bodies over there, so he's getting in work. A lot of potential. And he's a really good striker. He's really clean, really crisp, sharp. You would think he would be getting a lot of knockouts, but he should be knocking these guys out. But he's just decisionating these guys pretty easily. And then the Tuco Tokos fight, was it the Tuco or the Bellato fight? I don't know which one it was. It was those guys kind of, it was the Urslan fight, where he was kind of down, and then he actually had to resort to kind of his wrestling in that fight to kind of steal that fight, Urslan, because Urslan pieced him up in the first round and was winning that fight, and then Navajo hurt him, almost finished him, and then got the takedown and kind of just rode that kind of strategy out. So, he definitely could be making improvements. I think he's really good, and he could be really good. I was high on him coming into the UFC. I thought he would be knocking these guys out, but he just hasn't. And then Bruno Lopez is just kind of a guy, the guy just doesn't look, you get knocked out by Brinson Ribeiro. That's just not a good look. And then, Dustin Jacoby, you get starched by Jacoby. Okay, I'll give you that. Jacoby's really good. But, yeah, just not really. I don't think this guy is very good. I don't think he's UFC level. He's got some okay striking and some pop in his hands. And I guess, his game plan will probably be resort to the grappling here and try to get takedowns, because that's kind of a question mark on Navajo. He's more of a kickboxer, so if someone power wrestles him, how is he going to react? But I don't know if Lopez can really do that. And yeah, another massive favorite that's minus 200 to finish, minus 200 by knockout. So the inside the distance is probably 250. So, this is another one where it's like, yeah, he should knock him out, but probably goes to decision. I don't know. Bruno Lopez has no chin. I want to bet the Navajo knockout 1 or 2 or 2-3, but this is just a tough one to bet, man. Just big juice. And it's like, man, you have that hesitation on betting the knockout just because he's been a decisionator and the way these fights have been going recently. So the pick is Navajo Sterling. I don't know. I may take a shot on the decision or over 1.5 or something. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm right there with you. I think he could get the knockout. He probably should get the knockout. But yeah, he hasn't really. You could say that about pretty much all of his fights. And he hasn't really done that yet in the UFC. At some point, I feel like he's going to break through, but it's tough to bet that knockout. Again, the over 1.5 might be a way to kind of, mix it in a little bit, like get through the 1.5, and he does get to knock out. Happy.
Or do you think it's heavily favored, so you might be able to get like a Navajo wins and fight starts round 2? Maybe at decent number.
That wouldn't be bad. If you
it's not out. It's not out yet, but
yeah, the problem is this is another one of those fights where it almost feels like whatever you do, whatever you bet,
it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be the complete opposite. You bet the knockout, and it's going to just fly to decision. You bet fucking decision, he starts him in 60 seconds. Yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
Agree.
So it's tough. So it might be one to just maybe avoid, but yeah, I think Sterling gets it done. I mean, I do think he should knock him out, but yeah, it's just one of those ones that could really piss you off early on in the night. So we'll tread lightly there. All right, moving along here, we've got women's flyweight bout. Casey O'Neill taking on Gabriela Fernandez. Fernandez, I thought was bad like early on in her UFC career, but she's kind of proven that she's not. She's got good size. She's got good pop. She can be grappled, which could be a path here for Casey, who has, early in her UFC career, she was landing more takedowns. Recently hasn't done it as much. But O'Neill is one that, she looked really good. Everybody thought she was going to be a contender. And then she kind of dropped off a little bit after the Modafferi fight. So she's definitely got a lot of skills. Pretty well-rounded game. Definitely some question marks. Pretty close fight on paper. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Gabriela Fernandez, I mean, she's looked good as of recently. She got the big Kong Wang win, which was she was a big underdog in that fight, she rocked her with a head kick, then jumped on the back and got the win. She's got a win over streaking contender Carly Judy's, where she looked really good in that fight. And then the Julia Solorenko fight, you can say whatever, that's a win. Solorenko's an armbar merchant. But yeah, she's a really good striker, some decent power for, behind her punches. But like you said, takedown defense is pretty questionable. And Casey O'Neill, never really been a big fan of Casey O'Neill. I think I faded her more than not. I was on Ariana Lipski against her, which was a pretty good hit for me. She ended up finishing her. She lost. Yeah, she lost her by sub. Yeah, And it's just So I was on Lipski in that fight. So she's she's like. She has potential, she's a decent volume on the feet. She can't go to the grappling, but it's like injuries have really plagued her career. She's been off a year and 3 months, I think, here coming in. And then before that, she tore her ACL in a fight. So, real injury prone, hasn't really been active in the cage. She's changed gyms because, Santino DeFranco, she was over there and he retired last year. She's at her new gym. She's been injured. She's been out. But like you said, she does have the wrestling where she can probably resort to the takedowns here against Fernandez and maybe get some takedowns here. But I don't know, man. I'm just not a Casey O'Neill fan. I'm not a big fan. So I think Gabriela probably, if she can keep it on the feet and make it dirty and stuff some takedowns, I think she can piece her up on the feet. Yeah, I like Gabriela here. Not a strong conviction, low-level women's MMA, but, I lean Gabriela.
Yeah, this fight to me kind of looked like, kind of feels like a dog or pass type spot. Casey's the dog here.
Well, it flipped. The line flipped, didn't it? It's a pick'em now.
Well, last I saw Casey was like plus 110,
I think Casey's the favorite now. Yeah, Casey's the favorite now, minus 112.
Okay, so I kind of liked just taking the dog shot here originally, which I still kind of do. Like I'm fine.
Well, it's a
betting.
pick'em now. It's not really much of a dog, you know.
Yeah. So, I was kind of leaning Casey as the underdog.
Well, yeah, I thought about earlier in the week. I thought, yeah, Casey at like plus 120 might be some value, but now it's kind of like a pick on my kind of lean Fernandez.
Yeah, I do kind of like Fernandez game, and the real question mark here is Casey going to try to take her down and have success with it? Because if she does, I feel like she wins. But Fernandez is, she's looked good. She's improving.
And my read on this kind of fight is like that Fernandez probably banks round one, and then Casey probably tries to desperately wrestle. I don't know.
Could be, yeah. It all comes down to if she's able to wrestle. If she is, then she probably wins. If not, she probably loses. Casey puts up good volume, which is good, but Fernandez she's got good striking herself. So I guess I was coming into it leaning O'Neal here, so I'll stick with that. But I could see myself being on the Fernandez side by the time this fight kicks off. All right, let me see if hold on. Just lost my screen. Okay. All right, our next fight is in the heavyweight division as I struggle to fucking speak here. We got Marcin Tybura taking on Tyrell Fortune. Fortune, really good striker, good power. That's where he's going to make his money in this fight. Tybura going to want to get this fight to the ground. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, we got Tyrell Fortune here, Bellator vet. I mean, the guy's had like 50 fights in Bellator. I mean, I remember watching him on Bellator undercards. One of these, heavyweights. He's kind of a wrestle boxer. He's got some decent boxing, got some pop in his hands. Just I don't know how good he is. He can wrestle a little bit himself. I've seen him wrestle before. And he's made his run here and got signed to the UFC as a late minute replacement. He asked for his release from PFL and he went on a run, and the run here is against a 52-year-old Tony Lopez. I don't know if you remember him, and just a bunch of like bums, and he's looked good. I mean, but it's against bums, and he's a Bellator guy, so it's kind of hard. Another guy that's kind of hard to read, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you got Tybura, who, I don't know, man. Tybura looks pretty cooked to me. I don't know, man. I used to be kind of a Tybura guy, but, he's 40 years old. He looks kind of washed. I don't know, man. But he does have some skills. If he can get this to the ground and get on top of Fortune, I think he has a path there, man. If he can get on top, and he has a good top game and good ground and pound if he gets on top. But I don't know if that's on the feet. I think Fortune probably catches him. But this is another low-level fat slob heavyweight fight where I can see this going fucking 3 rounds and being a grease ball fest. So I don't fucking know about this one. This is, I guess Tybura, just UFC skills and everything, and fade Bellator guy. But this one is, with everything going on this weekend, this is low on the totem pole to bet for me. But the pick is Tybura.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Tybura is the underdog in this spot. If he gets the grappling going, I feel like he wins. His ground and pound is real. It's heavy, and he can do some work.
Because you've seen Linton Vassell. When Linton Vassell got on top of Tyrell Fortune, he pretty much smashed him and just cruised to a decision, just smashing him on top. So
Yeah, Fortune. He kind of when he gets put down there, he doesn't tend to work too hard to get back to his feet. And if that's the case, if Tybura is able to get him down, I think he just does work and gets it done. So I like Tybura here for sure. I mean, well, for sure. I mean, I like him as a dog, but
yeah,
that's the side for me. All right. Moving right along. We got a lightweight bout between Chase Hooper and Lance Gibson Jr. Chase Hooper, this guy been around for a while. He has problems with power punchers. That's a definite concern. He's he leaves himself open to be hit, but he's extremely dangerous. He does have a really good ground and pound. He's dangerous in submission game. And he is pretty tough. I mean, big power punchers get him, but generally speaking, he can take a beating. Lance Gibson Jr., solid. Doesn't really do anything that blows you out of the water. Not a big power guy. Kind of looks to counter a little bit. He's got pretty solid footwork. Hooper coming off a pretty tough knockout loss to Hernandez, but he's always a tough out. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, Lance Gibson, he came out, he got a short notice replacement against, another Bellator guy. Came in against Bobby Green, kind of short notice replacement, but I think he was already signed. I'm not, if I remember right. I don't know. Yeah, they signed him, and then his fight got scratched, and then he came in against Bobby Green, and he showed a decent effort of himself. He didn't look totally shit. He looked okay. The striking, he's more of a wrestler, I think. So that's interesting. But the striking is okay. Yeah, but the thing that red flag for me in the Bobby Green fight was Bobby Green was able to get takedowns in that. Able to get a takedown in that fight, which is kind of a red flag for me when you're kind of a wrestle boxer, and Bobby Green's taking you down. So that's a red flag for me. And just the level of competition just isn't really great. And then when he stepped up in Bellator, he got absolutely nuked. So I don't know. He's coming out of a good camp. His dad's an MMA fighter, Julia Budd, kind of a big, she was a pretty credentialed women's MMA fighter, pretty good in her time. So I don't know. And then you got Chase Hooper, who, this is the kid, the phenom, who takes his, he took his bumps and bruises. He came into the UFC, he was absolutely horrible, had no striking, nothing, just grappling. And, he's kind of evolved. His striking is it's okay. It's not the greatest, but if he latches onto you and gets your back and gets it to the ground, that's where he really makes his money, and he's really dangerous at in the submission grappling. That's a big part of his game. If he can get you, latch onto you, jump onto your back, he's pretty dangerous. As you've seen from the Slava Claus fight, even he's got some pretty good, nasty ground and pound and elbows. But it's just the thing you question is the chin. That's the one thing you question about him. Steve Garcia nuked him. Can you really blame that? Steve Garcia is a dog.
Exactly, yeah.
And then Alexander Hernandez, starched him too. Who's another dog, really, he's made a resurgence. So, question mark is the chin. But, if Hooper can drag this guy down, which Bobby Green was able to drag him down, which I think, if he can get inside and maybe get a trip or a body lock or jump on this back, I think it might be a wrap here. I already bet Hooper by sub at plus 215. I don't mind that. I like Chase Hooper here. Yeah,
I like Chase a lot here. Like you said, the guys that have starched him, big time power guys. He is a guy that does take a lot of damage, but we've seen him take a lot of damage in fights and survive and win late. So, and I think his striking has improved. He puts up decent volume, and he's willing to go out there and scrap. I don't think Gibson really has that power to knock him out. And if he wants to go to the grappling game, I don't think that's going to go well for him. I think Chase is just way too good on the ground. And when Chase gets guys to the mat, you know, he unloads. He puts up a ton of volume. He throws elbows from all different kind of angles. He kind of turns into a bit of a psychopath. Like he just wants to hurt people when they're down there. So yeah, I think Chase wins this fight. I think sub is more than live. I could see him finishing with ground and pound as well. But yeah, the sub at 215, I don't mind that at all. All right, moving right along here. We got a lightweight bout between Ignacio Bahamondes taking on Taufik Musayev. Musayev, guy that's, you know, kind of a compact striker. He's got some pretty good power, got a lot of knockouts on his record. Generally, when he loses, or at least recently, he does lose by finish. Bahamondes, you know, big, lanky striker, does have sneaky subs. He's long. When the fight gets to the ground, you know, if you leave your neck out there, he can snatch it up. He's had some questionable fights in the UFC, you know, where you think he's got a good look and, you know, he ends up coming up short. But overall, I mean, he's got good size. He's got good striking. Musayev, you know, he's kind of a grinder and definitely has some power. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yep, another Bellator washout here with Taufik Musayev. Yeah, Bellator guy. I mean, this guy in Bellator was a world beater. I mean, he looked really good. He was, he looked, you know, he was a dog in Bellator for years. And, you know, he's coming over here to the UFC, made his transition, went over to Ryzen, kind of had a mixed bag of reviews, but, you know, UFC kind of signed him because he's Azerbaijani. So when they had the card in Azerbaijan, they brought him in against my titty back Orbay, my guy. And yeah, I mean, he absolutely got destroyed. He got taken down and beaten to a pulp and destroyed, which was not a great look. So we all knew that Musayev on the feet was always live. But, you know, if he got taken down and he's on bottom, it's just not a very good look. But on the feet, he's a pretty good striker. He has power in his hands. And the offensive wrestling, if he can get his offensive wrestling going, he's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, I was high on this guy in Bellator. I bet him a lot in Bellator. But, you know, it's kind of changed since he came to the UFC. I think I might have took a shot on him against my Tibet, I think. Probably did. And yeah, and then you got Ignacio, who was coming off a pretty rough loss. Well, not a rough loss, but against a vet who pretty much implemented what he needed to do. I mean, Fiziev pretty much, you know, did what he needed to do. He got takedowns and grounded him, and Ignacio is not good off his back. I mean, he's a really talented striker on the feet. He's long and lengthy, good at range, crisp striking. Good defensive kind of BJJ, as we can see, like throws up good like triangles from his back. Like the Jalen Turner fight, he locked up. Jalen Turner got a takedown, and he was able to lock a triangle off his back, which was, you know, he's got good BJJ off his back. He's got good front chokes. Really good striking on the feet, as we've seen. I mean, Manuel Torres, he absolutely starched him on UFC Noche at the Spear, which is a fucking crazy fight. And yeah, I don't know. This is kind of a tough one for me because I like Bahamondes. I like him a lot, but I don't know if Musayev can kind of implement the same game plan as Fiziev did. I mean, Fiziev's not a grappler, and he went to the takedowns and kind of just grounded him and just did what he needed to do to win the fight. Can Musayev kind of do that? Maybe. But I don't know. I'm just going to think Bahamondes is just a better striker, longer, just keeps it at range and probably picks him apart and wins a decision. I like Bahamondes here by decision.
Yeah, I like Bahamondes as well. I mean, Fiziev, the dude's good. He's
Yeah,
He's not a
everybody
champion.
underrated him. He was a dog in that fight. Now it's like the only one on physio. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, so kind of a vet lesson in that one. But yeah, I like Bahamondes here. I think outside of I don't know. I mean, he could get caught with something big, but we've also seen him get caught with big shots and have to battle back in fights. So it's not like if he gets clipped, he's just going to fold up shop. I think the kid's really good. I think he's got a lot of upside. He's still pretty young. So yeah, I like Bahamondes here. I think he gets it done, and yeah, I just think he's just got the overall game. All right, next fight on the card here is the fight that if this one goes to decision, I mean, I don't even know what to say. But we got Terrence McKinney taking on Kyle Nelson. McKinney is an absolute world beater in the first round. He's extremely powerful. He's got really good wrestling. He can finish fights in the first round anyway, basically. But that's about it. After that, after probably 3 to 4 minutes, he kind of turns into a different fighter. Taking on Kyle Nelson, who's a guy that I early in his career, I looked at him and I was like, this guy should be better than what he is. Like, he just looked like, he's a big, strong kid. It just looks like a guy that should be better than what his results were. And then recently, he's kind of, turned it up a little bit and kind of reached a bit of his potential. He's tough as nails. He's strong. He's got some decent power. And, cardio-wise, obviously, you would favor him in this matchup. He beat Frivola twice in that last fight. He had him finished, knocked out. Ref stopped it, and then they said it was the end of the round when there was still time on the clock. And he had a battle, the adrenaline dump and continue that fight, but was able to do it, which is actually pretty impressive. Obviously, explosive fight here. We expect this fight to end probably within the first 2 rounds. But what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is. I got inside information here. This is my cousin here, my cousin Kyle Nelson.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my cousin. So we're coming in here. We should have gotten a knockout finish against Frivola, which somehow another one that just somehow went to decision when the dude just took an absolute beating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we lost to Steve Garcia, which was Steve Garcia. I mean, he's got big power, But before that, he was on a run. Bill Algeo, Fernando Padilla, Blake Builder, the Duho Choi draw. The big knock on Kyle Nelson was just durability in the chin was we thought, he couldn't take a punch, but then all of a sudden he showed he could take a punch, and he's got the skills. I mean, he's got great cardio. I mean, he's got good striking. He's got pretty decent wrestling. I mean, he's pretty well rounded. It's just sometimes that chin kind of comes back to bite him, And this is an interesting matchup because you got Terrence McKinney, who's just a fucking. I mean, he's pretty much just. It's going to be a car crash, because he's going to come out the first 3 minutes. He's going to fucking run head first and try to fucking get you out of there. That's what he does. Terrence McKinney fights never go over 1.5. I don't think he's hardly ever seen a round 2. Yeah, I mean, he's going to go in there and it's going to be hell to pay in that first 3 minutes. It's the big question is, can Kyle Nelson survive that first 3 minutes of fury and kind of survive, which McKinney is going to just bring it with everything he's got. And, McKinney round 1 kind of interested me, plus 115. I mean, if you're betting McKinney, you're probably taking him round 1 at plus 110, plus 115. I mean, That's pretty much his money line, I would think. But yeah, it's an interesting thing because if Kyle Nelson, you've seen interviews where McKinney's like, yeah, I'm ready to go the distance if I have to, if I, And last time he tried that against Bonfim, he tried to kind of do a slow, methodical pace. He got absolutely fucking head kick meaned in round 2. So,
yeah,
I don't know, man. This is probably going to finish at some point because all Terrence McKinney fights finishes. But this is one where it's like, what if this goes to decision? You're just like, come on, man.
yeah.
So, yeah, I'm taking Kyle Nelson here. I'm taking the shot with Kyle Nelson. I think he can survive and then outlast him and finish him. Yeah, I like Kyle Nelson here.
Yeah, I like Kyle Nelson as well. I actually thought about I didn't look at it, but I thought maybe betting McKinney under half a round because that is just under that 3-minute mark. And
yeah,
I feel like if he wins, it's probably fast. It's probably within the first 2 minutes. So I kind of thought about just throwing a little something on the half round, and if it hits, it hits. But I like Kyle Nelson though. I mean, I think he's tough, and if he survives that storm, I think he looks like a minus 1,000 favorite. And he probably finds a finish, second round. But, yeah, I just think it's outside of that first couple minutes. I think it's all Kyle Nelson. So give me Nelson here. Give me Nelson inside the distance. And, yeah, maybe I throw a little something on that under half a round. I don't know if that's out yet, but.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's where the win equity is for McKinney, and if it goes over and he gets to finish in the third or fourth minute, it is what it is. But that's kind of the way I see it going down.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along here. I did not adjust the screen yet, so we're not. Oh, yes, I did. All right. We're getting there. Got a middleweight bout. Mansour Abdul Malik taking on Yursi Belgaru. Yursi is a guy from the Glover Teixeira camp. He's a kickboxer, good power, explosive. Definitely can be a little bit wild. The takedown defense, not really too sure about at this point yet. So, Abdul Malik may sneak that in, and maybe we can get some questions answered there. Abdul Malik is a guy that, I kind of questioned him a little bit early on in his
career. You're a fan. This is your guy, dude. Yeah. This is your guy right here. You've been waiting for this moment.
I have been betting him in his recent fights. So I have cashed some tickets on him, but I definitely have questions with this guy. Looks like $1 million. He's got skill. But, the Brundage fight nearly went – well, I guess it technically didn't get to decision because of the head clash late. But that fight wasn't the greatest of looks. It looked like he had that finish late in the third round, but it turned out to be a head clash and, typical Cody Brundage style. Ends up I think it ended up being a no contest when it was all said and done, but I think on the night they read the scorecards, if I remember correctly, and then they overturned it. But yeah, he's a guy, he's got all the skills, he's got power, he can grapple, but I don't know, I just do see some holes in his game, and Yursi, He's got good power. He's a good kickboxer, big, strong guy. This is a tough one for me, man. I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air. I'm kind of curious where you're at on this one.
This is your guy, Mansour. This is your guy. Every time you bet this guy and you're like, I can't wait to fade this guy. This guy sucks, man.
I have said that on multiple occasions.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, this is crazy. Now he's getting a real step up here in competition. Pick 'em fight. I mean, he hasn't looked great. I mean, in his fights, but he's getting finishes. I mean, he got the Trocoli. I mean, anybody can finish Trocoli. I mean,
Exactly.
but some no. Actually, no. Nobody can finish Trocoli because motherfucker got starched and it didn't get finished. So
That's true too.
So yeah, I mean, he had a front standing guillotine, which was pretty crazy. But yeah, we know Malik he's pretty decent boxer. I mean, he came in with a lot of hype. He's been like minus 1,200 in all of his fights coming up to this point. Big favorite. He's got pretty decent striking, some okay power, some wrestling that he really never really uses. Kind of low volume and just stares. Doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you look at him and you look at his attributes and what he's got, and he seems like he would have a lot of potential. And what we've seen him do is he really just doing that against trash cans. Like, he did get some pretty crazy knockouts early in his career, but is it against just dumpster fire? Which I think it might be. And then you got Belguri who's coming in here, pretty credentialed kickboxer. Kind of the roughest of he needed 2 tries to get through the Contender Series. Wasn't really the greatest of looks, but he fought Alex Pereira in the kickboxing. He went to decision with Pereira in kickboxing. He's at the Glover camp, like you said. So the takedown defense is not the greatest, but he usually finds his way up back to his feet pretty easily. He kind of gets taken down and kind of pops back up. That's something. And he's at a good camp with Glover, so he's probably drilling that. He's training with Poatan, so he's getting good work in. So yeah, he's gonna be long. He's like 6'6". He's a big guy, long, rangy. I think if this stays on the feet, I think they'll. And then he had Bakoev. He was a big dog against Bakoev. Because the contender fights weren't the greatest, and then he comes in as the big dog against Bakoev and just absolutely beats the shit out of him. So yeah, I think I like Belguri here. I'm going to be on Belguri. I don't know if he can finish Malik, but I think Malik he just stares too much and is too low volume. So yeah, give me Belguri here.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree there. This might be the moment. This might be the fade spot.
This is the moment, kid.
We'll take it. So yeah, I think there is potential that he could find the button and get him out of there. But yeah, I think Belguri, just big, strong guy. He's just kind of got an overall game, and you saw it with Pereira. Like, he was early on in his career, you could take him down too, and then he just continued to get better with the takedown defense. I think this is going to be kind of the same here. Glover is obviously a guy that Glover had power, but he kind of made his living as a power grappler. So they are drilling that. So yeah, give me Belguri here.
Yep.
All right, we move on to another fight that could very easily end early. We got Julian Erosa taking on Leron Douglas, featherweight bout. Erosa is kind of a tricky guy. He's extremely chinny. He's been knocked out a lot, I think 7 times in his career. But he is, highly skilled, very good striking. He's got good submission skills. He's a vet. He's been around a long time. Taking on Leron Douglas, who's on a pretty nice KO streak, which is obviously not what you want to see if you're an Erosa backer. Douglas has some pretty good power. He was finished himself in 2023, so he could be caught as well. Pretty quick, easy win on the Contender Series to get him to this spot here. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. You got Julian Erosa, who's, I mean, he's kind of a junkyard dog, one of these junkyard dogs that just greases it out. I mean, he's a pretty decent striker. He's got good volume. He's got slick front chokes, pretty decent subs. But the question is, like, usually his fights are like him weathering a storm and kind of just, absorbing a car crash and then just being able to outlast his opponent,
Yeah.
That's pretty much what he does. And you got Lyrian Douglas, I mean, LFA guy, been over there for a while, was the champion, came over and had an absolute, I mean, crazy knockout on Contender Series, just absolutely starched the guy. I think it was Cam Teague, right? But I mean, Cam Teague sucks. Yeah, Cam Teague sucks. So, yeah, I mean, he's got really, really good power boxing, really good striking, really dangerous. I mean, this guy, I mean, if he touches you, I mean, if he hits the button, it's good night. I don't like I mean, he has been hurt before and he has been touched before. He's got finished 4 times in his career, so he has a little bit of quit in him. I mean, but he's on a pretty good run. I don't know. I mean, Rosa's kind of hit and miss. This might be a good live betting spot because I can see if Rosa can kind of get and work in his game and kind of weather their early storm and not get knocked out. But I mean, this Douglas guy just hits like a fucking truck.
Yeah,
that's my concern. I mean, Douglas knockout prop is like -145. The last time I looked, not great. I kind of want to back it though. I think he probably touches the chin, but I mean, I could see a Rosa. This makes me seem like a Rosa like maybe grabs up a tricky front choke and chokes him out or something. I don't know. I have a weird feeling about this one.
Yeah, agreed.
I think Douglas probably knocks him out, probably an under, maybe a bit, maybe parlay the unders. But in this day of age, you don't feel great about it. So I'm going to pick Douglas. I think Douglas knocks him out, but I definitely think this could be a live betting opportunity on a Rosa if he can kind of mix in some grappling and maybe stretch it out a bit.
Yeah. It's weird because, like, I could see Rosa looking like he's 3 times better than this kid because he does have the skills. He's got, and he just went the distance with what's his name, Melky Costa not that long ago, and then Costa, starched Dan Ige. So like that's a little feather in the cap there. But I just like Arosa. He's so skilled and he's so confident in there, and he looks great a lot. Like he looks, he's a very good fighter, and I could see him looking great here, and I could see him styling on this guy. But I could also see just out of nowhere, he's flat on the canvas. So it's tough. So I do kind of like this fight as a live look because first round, kind of see where they're at. If Rosa just comes out and just gets caught early, obviously you don't have a bet there, but if he looks good, like if he looks sharp, I could see myself live betting Rosa. I think he can get it done. I really do. But guys like this who have been knocked out as many times as he has, fighting guys who are on a 4 or 5 fight finish streak, it's kind of tough because that knockout could just come out of nowhere. So yeah, I mean, I like the I kind of do favor the Douglas KO. But man, I don't know, man. I could see Rosa looking really good in this fight. So this fight, I probably won't have anything pre-flop here. I'll probably wait, see what it looks like live, and get a good price on Rosa. I might throw something down on it, but yeah, tough one for sure. It's gonna be fun. This will be one that'll be fun to watch.
For sure. Violence.
Yeah. All right. Moving right along. We got the Michael Chiesa farewell fight. Get it up on the screen here. I thought Chiesa was in for a bad night with his original matchup, but he gets a little bit of a softball here, taking on Nico Price, short notice. Nico, I mean, we want to talk about guys that are cooked. Nico's probably at the top of that list right now. I mean, he just took a brutal knockout not that long ago, and I think this might even be the last for him. I heard rumblings that he might be walking away as well. Has not looked great. He's always been a guy that's been a scrapper. He was always willing to throw down, but that kind of style takes its toll on you. You take a lot of damage over the years, and Nico has shown damage.
Oh my God.
What happened?
Purdue just won with the walk-off.
Oh, no shit. But we got Chiesa here. I mean, who's, striking is not his forte. He doesn't throw a lot of strikes. He does not put up any volume. He wants to grapple. Definitely could grapple here. Nico Price, he's there to be he's there for the taking on the ground. Chiesa is extremely dangerous. Chiesa is a hometown guy. This is farewell fight, so obviously he wants to go out with a bang. I'm kind of leaning the sub spot here for Chiesa, but what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, retirement fight for Michael Chiesa. I mean, he's ready to go to the booth and call it a day. I mean, he's getting his swan song here in his hometown. Yeah, hometown fight for him. So it's like, what do you do here? Like, I mean, he had an original. Carlson Harris was kind of a tougher fight for him.
Yeah,
I kind of think he's, much tougher. I mean, Chiesa, his last fight against Court McGee, he didn't wrestle in that fight. He just wanted to, he pretty much outstruck Court McGee and pretty much cruised to a decision in that fight, which was
kind of wild.
Which was interesting. Yeah, but, Court McGee is a black belt, and, he's tricky on the ground, but, he was able to just cruise to a striking decision. Chiesa's never had a knockout. I mean, if Chiesa were to ever get a knockout, this would be the fight against Nico Price. I mean, Nico Price got starched by Robbie Lawler in Robbie Lawler's retirement fight. Nico Price got absolutely starched. Nico Price is fucking washed. I mean, he has no chin, but he is kind of slick and slimy on the ground, man. He's slick and slimy on the ground. I mean, as you've seen, Jacoby Smith was able to lock in the rear naked choke, but it took him almost 2 rounds to lock that in.
Yeah.
Nico was pretty defensive on the ground. He's also supposedly a black belt, so I mean, it's like, I don't like Nico's chin, but I mean, I think he's kind of a savvy grappler to be able, but Chiesa is a really slick submission grappler. So it's like, man, what goes on here? Does Chiesa that fought Court McGee show up and just kind of just piece itself up and piece Nico up and be safe and just win a decision? I don't know. I've kind of flip-flopped on this fight. I think everybody's betting the sub. Logical reasoning would say that he takes him down and locks something up, gets his back, and subs him out. But this is one of these ones that I'm fucking feeling like one of these ones that should end and has, and it's just cruises to a decision. This is worrisome for me. I don't think Nico Price is good. I think Nico Price sucks. I think he loses. But I think Chiesa could probably do it any fucking way.
True.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is Chiesa's first knockout win. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if he hurts Nico Price and knocks him out on the feet, because Nico Price has no chin.
Yeah, you're right.
So I mean, I don't mind maybe a sprinkle on the Chiesa knockout. I mean, the sub is like -110. So I mean, books are predicting it. That's the public bet. That's what everybody thinks, which is logical. I mean, which should happen. It should be a sub. It should be a Chiesa sub. But I don't know. I got a weird feeling about this, man. I got a weird feeling this goes to decision, man. I got a weird feeling, man. It should be a Chiesa sub. Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah.
But I will say though, when you talk about Chiesa,
again, retirement fights, not everything ends storybook. That's not. I mean, Nico Price does have good striking. He has good boxing. Decent.
He does.
He's not a bum, but he's got no chin. He's washed. But in his day, I mean, would it surprise you if Nico Price knocked out Michael Chiesa in his retirement fight? It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me, dude.
It wouldn't surprise me. Like I could see that happening for sure. I mean, I could definitely see it happening. The guy that we've seen the past couple of years, Nico Price, I don't know. I just don't know if he's got that in him. Coming off a brutal knockout. I mean, he got absolutely bludgeoned in that last fight, which honestly wasn't that long ago.
It was about a month, 2 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. All these fights blend together. And like, you look back, I remember when Chiesa fought Sean Brady, and Brady was taking him down and controlling him and winning rounds. But like third round in that fight, Chiesa was cracking Brady. And like, I actually got nervous because I was on Brady. I thought Chiesa might knock him out in that spot. Which is crazy to talk about because Chiesa does not throw volume. I mean, I think he averages like, I don't know, 1.5 strikes per minute. Something. It's extremely low. He's usually puts up 20, 30 strikes in a fight. Obviously put up more than that in his last fight, which was also kind of shocking. I wasn't expecting that fight to go like that, but I don't know. I think Chiesa. I mean, I think Chiesa could hurt him with not a very big strike and, drop him with something. And that's why I think he just jumps on his neck, maybe gets him hurt, just jumps on something. But, the more we talk about it, the more I just feel like there's a lot of ways this fight can go. But I think Chiesa probably rolls here. And like I said, I do like the sub look, but I might sprinkle a little bit on the KO. Because Price, his chin is pretty sharp. Yeah. And if it goes to a decision, I
want to bet Chiesa by decision, dude.
Might just do it just for. Yeah, I mean, what's that line right now?
It'd be good.
Yeah, it would probably be really good.
250.
I mean, he's a minus 600 favorite, so I guess it
850 now. Up to 850.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, he's up to 850 now.
Yep. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Imagine.
Michael Chiesa in 2026, Michael Chiesa is an 850 favorite. Get the fuck out of my fucking face, dude. At this point, you just fucking take Nico off a fucking...
Yeah, right.
I mean, 850 on a fucking a retirement guy?
Yeah. That's wild. But, I mean, you can see it, but that's crap. I never would have thought we'd be here.
No.
But we're here. That's just the way it is.
We're here.
All right. We'll move along here. We've got a women's flyweight bout. Alexa Grasso, the former champ, taking on Macy Barber, who was supposed to be the youngest champ of all time. That has not come to fruition. She's had a lot of injuries, a couple setbacks in her career. But she's put together a nice resume. But Macy has pretty good striking. She's got decent power. Not a lot of finishes, but she does hit hard. She had a couple, greasy decision wins in her career. Grasso, obviously, we know fought Shevchenko multiple times in a row. Got that stunning submission victory to claim the belt, and then they had a draw, and then eventually Shevchenko got the belt back. Grasso did not look great in her last fight. Maybe a little hangover from the title fights, which does tend to happen. But pretty even matchup. These two fought in the past. Very close fight there. Strikes were pretty close, and I think Macy might have landed 3 takedowns, which But again, I mean, it was a close fight. Pretty back and forth. They kind of have the same style that they had when the last time they fought. Macy, coming back from the injuries and the illnesses that she's had, you got to give her credit. She's somebody that the UFC would like to see do well. But, close fight here. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, a rematch. Kind of two fighters on opposite trajectories, but can you really say that? I mean, Macy Barber had her fight against Erin Blanchfield. I mean, that one was where, she had a shaky, the fight didn't even go off because she passed out, blacked out before she walked to the ring, which was disturbing, not great. The health scares, that's a big issue, but I mean, when she gets in there healthy, I mean, she looks really good. She's on a 7-fight win streak. I mean, she's beating all these girls. I mean, Karina Silva fight. I mean, she looked really good in the Karina Silva, and Karina Silva was an up-and-comer that people thought she could have been a contender, but she kind of stopped her there. She's a good. She walks forward. She's got good striking. Some decent power in her hands. She's gonna throw volume. She's gonna crash the pocket. She's gonna do what she has to do, and she can mix in the grappling. That's not really her game, though. Like you said, she got 3 takedowns in the first fight. This is a rematch, so yeah, she got takedowns in the first fight, but Grasso was able to sweep her on a couple times, and Grasso is. I've been a Grasso fan, but it's these trilogies that really take a lot out of these fighters. Like we've seen it with fighters like the Izzy trilogy with Poatan that took a lot out of Izzy emotionally. And you can say it took a lot out of Grasso, because I mean Grasso got the big win in the first one where she lost all the first 3 rounds, and then she was able to get the submission, big, large win. And then, the second fight ended up being a draw, which, I mean, was kind of a ghost draw, which probably it shouldn't have been a draw. And then she gets absolutely destroyed in the third fight, just grounded for 50-45. And then we've seen Figgy, even Moreno, Figgy and Moreno. They went through their 4-fight trilogy, and they just never came out the same. These fighters just don't seem to come out the same after these trilogies or quadruple or whatever it was. They don't seem to come out. They don't seem to come out right after these fights. And she came out and she looked absolutely terrible against Natalia Silva. Got 30-27 in every round. Did not look great in that fight. I bet her in that fight as a dog, and it was just a disappointment. But she's got really good BJJ. She's got some crisp and clean boxing, But it's like, is she washed? Is she cooked? I mean, did that trilogy take a lot out of her? I mean, maybe, or maybe can she really implement what she did to Macy in the Macy fight is what got her the title, the title fight, and it was during the COVID era. It was like it was a co-main event on a pay-per-view in the COVID era, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a tricky one. Macy now minus 180, not great. But Macy's gonna walk forward. I mean, this is a tricky one for me. I kind of want to go back to my girl Grosso, but I think she might be cooked. I think the implants might have the upper hand because she's just. I don't know. The implants gave Macy maybe a new life, new breed of life, and she's looked really good.
Yeah, she has.
This is a tricky one for me. I don't like the money line. The money line is crazy. I think if you're betting either girl, you probably take them by decision. But I mean, I think Rosso's decision is probably the same. It is the same number as the money line. So you just take the Grosso money line there, and maybe she can lock something up. But I don't know, man. This is another low. This is a weird one for me because I mean, if Grosso shows up. The other thing with Grosso is she's been hurt. Injuries have been plaguing her and kind of postponing her fight. She had a fight with Rose Namajunas that got postponed, and she pulled out of that one. So, I mean, is she getting up there? Is it like – I don't know, man. It's weird for me. I think Macy wins, but I just don't like the number on the money line. I want to bet Macy, but probably Macy and over 1.5. Maybe Macy money line in a parlay, but – I think Macy wins, but my girl could come back and fight me with Grosso. So it's a close fight. I wouldn't blame you if you dog her past it, but I lean Macy here.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I feel like when she does make it to the cage, she has looked, pretty good, and she's always had the skills. Typically, if I bet against her, even in a close fight that I thought maybe she could have lost, she still finds a way to get the win. She's had a couple split decisions on her record that, could argue probably should have lost. But, the streak continues. And honestly, I'll say she has looked much, much better, much more improved over the years. So, I mean, I think she does continue to get better. I think if this money line keeps growing, I might throw something on the Grosso plus 3.5. I think there might be some value there.
I don't mind that.
So I mean, I could see that, but yeah, I think if you're betting Macy, you should be betting the over 1.5, or even the decision. Just try to get a better price on her, because I do think the fight goes long. I could see, I guess I could see a finish either way, honestly, but I wouldn't expect a finish in this fight. So either way you're looking at this one, I would think, the overs are the good way to go. And if that money line climbs over 200, and you could get around an even money plus 3.5 on Grosso, I'll bet that. I'd bet that.
I don't mind that.
Times out of 10. So, so we'll see there. But I mean, I think Macy wins. I just think right now she looks like she's in the better spot. As hard as that is to say after what Macy,
if she comes in healthy, if she comes in healthy,
and she seems to be. I mean, she seems to be in a good spot. So, I like Macy. I think she gets it done, and I like the overs.
Yes.
All right. That brings us to our main event. And this one's tricky, man. This is a tricky one for me. We got a middleweight bout. Israel Adesanya taking on Joe Pyfer. And, Izzy has not had a great run as of late. He's actually looked really good in a couple of his losses. I thought he looked great in the Drickus fight. I thought he was doing good work. He was, doing the typical Izzy type fight. And then the weird thing about that fight was it just looked like he kind of gassed out, and then Drickus took over, and then Drickus ended up choking him out. Then he got caught in his next fight, which that is actually that's a tough look. That's worrisome. But Joe Pyfer is a guy that he's got big power. He's got a pretty strong wrestling base. I do question his cardio still. I mean, we have seen him go 3 rounds and get the job done, but I definitely think there's still some holes in the Pyfer game. But where is Izzy at right now in his career? That's kind of the bigger question, because I mean, Izzy's a much better fighter, much more skilled. Obviously the resume is there, one of the best middleweight champions we've ever seen. But he's getting up there in age. He's taken some finish losses recently. So maybe the time has passed. But so it's a really interesting matchup here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is an interesting up and comer versus a legend. I mean, is he the fucking legend? Like, no matter what you say it. I mean, the guy just he was all these title defenses. I mean, he was the lock. I mean, he was unbeatable until the Politan fight. I was on Politan in that first fight. And yeah, I mean, he got caught there, he got hurt and got stopped, but he bounced back from that fight and was able to knock out Politano and get his first win over Pereira in that fight and did good. And then the Strickland fight, short notice Strickland fight, was kind of an eye-opener there, where Strickland, who never hurts anybody, rocked Izzy in, I think it was round 1. Yeah, round 1 or round 2. Rocked him, hurt him, dropped him. I mean, Strickland looked career best in that fight. And did his job and put work on Izzy, and then Izzy comes back and in the Jerkus fight, and Izzy was winning that fight until he got caught. He kind of gassed in that fight. It was kind of crazy. You never would question Israel Adesanya to gas, and he gassed in that fight and kind of just. He gassed, and then Drickus was able to get the takedowns and take him down, and then got the rear naked choke on and choked him out in that fight. I was on Izzy on that fight. I thought he was winning, cruising, and then got caught. Yeah, and then the Imavov fight. He looked like a fucking world beater in round 1. He looked awesome in round 1. And then he started to look awesome in round 2, and then bang, eye poke. He tried to do the nah, I'm good, Pereira, and then he got hurt, and then he got caught, and he got rocked and put away. He got hit flush on the chin. I mean, he got hit absolutely flush on the chin, which was not a. I mean, you get hit like that, you're. I don't care. And it's Imavov, who is not really known as a power puncher, and absolutely caught him and put him away, but he caught him flush. Yeah. And then now he's coming in here against Joe Pyfer, who's pretty much a big power puncher. The big bomb, throws big bombs. He has some wrestling. I mean, does he have the wrestling to take Izzy down and control him and kind of just sub him? I don't think so. I don't know. He's got it, though. I mean, he's at that Philly camp with Sean Brady and all those boys over there. So, I mean, it's definitely in the back of the game plan, what he can go to, but we know Joe Pyfer from Contender Series beat Joe Pyfer, which is a guy that goes in there and, he had a rough run on his first Contender Series fight where he broke his arm. And he lost that, and then he came back, and then he came with the famous beat Joe Pyfer, and came in and was looking like a world beater, was starching everybody. I mean, big power in his hands, good boxing, good striking, but then he ran into a guy who can kind of stretch him out, and kind of Jack Hermanson, who was able to weather the storm early and extend it and kind of made him look. I mean, Jack Hermanson kind of just withstanded the onslaught in the first 2 rounds and then was able to just piece him up in the last 3. And the cardio is kind of a question here for Pyfer. So I don't know. Can Pyfer, I mean, Izzy is pretty hard to take down. I mean, he's got good BJJ defense, so even if you take him down, he can probably survive, and Pyfer's probably going to expend a lot of energy there. So I don't know. This is kind of like if Piper, but like you said, that Izzy's chin might have been cracked. So I mean, Pyfer has big power and can hit Izzy, but Izzy, I think, is probably still. I mean, I think Izzy still has something left in the tank, but the chin's been cracked. So it's like now at this stage of your career, it's like once that chin gets cracked, man, it could be, it could go downhill from there. And Pyfer hits fucking very hard. Pyfer hits like a fucking truck. So, I'm going to pick Izzy to get the job done. I don't feel great about it because it might be a good live betting spot because I could see Pyfer having success early. But ultimately, I think Izzy can take over and probably just piece him up and maybe win in the later rounds. Maybe knock him out later, but probably win a decision.
Yeah, I mean, I like Izzy here too. To me, this is that fight where if Izzy doesn't get through this, I would imagine he's done. Like he's cooked, unless he's just goes out and starts like fighting lower level guys. But I don't foresee him doing that. He's made a lot of money in his career, but I think the time off for Izzy probably a really good thing because, like you talked about, I mean, with the Poatan fights, that definitely I feel like emotionally was a big deal. He got that finish, and even in that first fight against Poatan, I mean, the first MMA fight with him, like he almost had Poatan out of there in the first round, and Poatan kind of got saved by the bell there. But those were some really big emotional fights for him. Got that win finally. And then the Sean Strickland fight was like kind of shocking. He got clipped early, was able to survive, go the full 5 rounds. And then the guy that fought Dricus and the guy that fought.
I mean, he looked good.
I know. I was like, this is Izzy.
I was counting my money already. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, me too. I was like, this guy's back.
And then boom, starch, gas.
And it was weird because he did seem like he hit a wall in that fight, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, he was like, we did talk about it on the show. Like, this is the most volume we've seen Izzy put out. Like he's throwing more volume than we're used to seeing him throw. And he was throwing a lot of volume and he was dominating by doing it. But I think it might have been just a little bit too much. And he paid for it. And then the Imavov fight, like you said, he got clipped, he got hit. And that was kind of just out of the blue. Cause again, he looked like the world-class fighter in that fight, was doing everything right. And then just got caught. This fight, I feel like if that guy, the guy that fought the first 2-3 rounds against Dricus and the guy that fought the first round against Imavov is going to absolutely style on Joe Pyfer. And if he does, I feel like Pyfer is going to fall off a cliff. I feel like the cardio's not going to be there because he's not
survive the early power, and
I just think he's so much better technically striking. I mean, I feel like Izzy should win this fight. I feel like he should. There's a lot of question marks. I mean, I've lost money on these legendary vets a lot. You go one fight too long with them, and it just doesn't pay off. But I feel like skill-wise, Izzy is the more skilled guy, the more polished guy. And really, outside of him getting knocked out, I don't see a path for him to lose this fight. I don't see him getting out grappled for 5 rounds. I just don't think Pyfer has that kind of cardio. And we haven't really seen that. I mean, we know he's got good wrestling, but he hasn't shown to be a guy that's just going to, spam takedowns. He wants to knock dudes out. I like Izzy here. I think the time off, probably the best thing for him. Comes back, looks like his old self, and we see where he goes from here. But I think Izzy gets it done.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it. We got the whole card broken down. I honestly think this is going to be a good card. It's going to be a fun one.
You want to get the parlay?
Yeah, we can look at a parlay here.
My leg is going to be Chase Hooper by sub.
Okay. All right. So what did I feel good about coming into this one? So that Hooper sub, what was the price on that?
I got 215, but I can pull it up on what it is right now. Might have moved.
Wow, DraftKings has it at 165.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't mind that. 165 will still get the parlay.
I mean, it's a parlay piece, so plus money to start
Yeah.
the parlay. Fine.
Yeah,
okay.
and you can pick something safe if you want.
Well,
Best bet.
I got safe. I guess could be the under 1.5 in the McKinney fight.
Yeah, let's do it. That's what we do.
All right.
There it is.
Okay.
So what's fights doesn't start round 2? We could squeeze a little, maybe more out of it because we got a plus money leg.
Let's see here. Round props. Start round 2. The no is minus 150.
Yes. Put that. No, start round 3.
Oh, no. That's not going to help us.
Okay. We'll do the under 1.5. Under 1.5. Under 1.5.
That's minus 600.
Okay. Under 1.5. It's like 180. 250.
Yeah, it's pretty juiced. But that gets my parlay to plus 255. Man. So yeah, and I think I've reached my limit here.
All right.
So that gets us on DK. I mean, I could look other sites.
We'll just do it right now. DK.
So that's the bet.
Yes. Hooper sub, Nelson, McKinney under 1.5. The parlay.
Yeah, and then if McKinney just flatlines him off the bat, then it is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, 266 I got. 266.
Love it. Fuck it. Let's go.
That's pretty solid.
You want to do DFS score or you tapped out?
We could look. No, we could look. Worst case scenario, I start coughing, but we're almost done.
Okay. Man, fuck.
DFS is interesting this week.
Yeah, because I can see a mid-range build that nukes. My guy's going to be Belguri. AK.
Okay, that's a good. That's got some upside there. See, I'd love to go Kyle Nelson. There's value there, but if he gets starched early, that hurts.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have lineups with Kyle Nelson and Terrence McKinney.
Oh yeah,
I'm not playing one.
if you're
So
playing,
I'm playing. I'm probably playing. I'm 100% in that fight, and I'm playing one of each in every one of my lineups.
yeah, if you're playing multi-entry, you definitely.
So yeah, we can go Kyle Nelson there. That's not bad. I don't mind that. That's a dog.
All right.
No.
Kyle Nelson.
Belguri, Kyle Nelson, Hooper. You have 8,500 left for your next 3 spots. I think that leaves you well.
Yeah, Hooper's only 8,900. If he does his job, he's scoring.
Grappling and ground and pound and submission. Yeah. So Belguri, Nelson, Hooper, your core 3 for us.
Okay, I like it.
Yep. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully my voice wasn't too bad. I feel like I got through this one.
No, you made it through good. You made it through good.
Yeah.
We got big basketball going on. Let's go, Arizona.
Got basketball going on. MLB's back.
Go.
So you know me, I love the MLB.
Oh, we got PFL this weekend. We got Moses Atama this weekend. I think PFL's tomorrow. PFL might be tomorrow. I think Pittsburgh. PFL Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got PFL Pittsburgh tomorrow. What a weekend.
Yep.
Massive weekend. All right. Laters.
All right, guys.
We're here.
We are out of here. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you this weekend.